etc. And we were able to win those elections, the wrong elections. Then there are states like Edo, like Ondo, like Oshu State, where the courts handed over, including Anambra State, where the courts handed over our own seats to opponents. Even in Ekiti. The third level is what happened recently, following the convention, where 5 of our governors decamped from PDP to the opposition political party. If you look at the huge loss the PDP suffered on these 3 levels, so are we now to say that all this happened to us, that it was not painful to the party? It was. So I will add that the APCs, they should focus attention on their own problems. They should leave us alone.
Now the beat goes on and on with the People's Democratic Party calling on Governor Al-Makura to answer to the 16-count charge leveled against him. Now let's hear from the PDP National Vice Chairman North Central, Alhaji Yusuf Ayitogo. The opposition are saying that the impeachment threat in Nasarawa State is politically motivated to suffocate the opposition.
I don't think somewhere somebody will say it is a threat. If the legislative arm of the state in Nasarawa State are pursuing their legislative matter as per the directive of the Nigerian Constitution, then I believe the executive too has that opportunity to come and defend itself over the allegation made against him.
The reports we have was that there was some earlier agreement that Governor Tanko Al-Makura was expected to defect back to the PDP after winning the governorship elections of Nasarawa State in 2011, which he didn't do.
Look, PDP as a party does not go all out to beg people to join the party. It is the party of the people, and people who will to come to the PDP are free to come. As I've earlier stated, the majority of the cabinet member and even Al-Makura himself were once a party member. But of course, they have left the party and joined the CPC. And there was no any agreement between the party and Al-Makura for him to deflect after winning an election to come back to the PDP.
The Nasarawa State governor is not alone in this race for political survival. The APC National Vice Chairman North Central Nigeria, Alhaji Abdullahi Zakari Ede, is also throwing his weight behind him. Alhaji Zakari brings an interesting angle to the impeachment threat. He discards it as an afterthought, questioning the Assembly for going ahead to pass budget appropriation for the 2014 when there was still strong reservations with the previous ones. But will that be sufficient to fault these allegations against the governor? Now let's hear from the APC chieftain for the North Central Nigeria. We learned that Governor Tanko Al-Makura had an initial agreement with some powerful forces within the PDP, which is reneging on. Could you clear the air on that?
Even when he was in the PDP, we were behind his candidature. When he left the PDP, we left together with him. Any story that will bring any issue of PDP to his governance, I think is being mischievous.
Did Governor Tanko Al-Makura, did he misappropriate 13 billion naira?
For any allegation, it has to be proved beyond reasonable doubt. The State Assembly has sat down in the House, which they have enormous powers for oversight functions and what have you. I was in the Assembly before. Therefore, they sat down and alleged that he has misappropriated 13 billion naira. Up to this point in time that I'm speaking with you, they have not served the governor with the said letter of impeachment.
You have consistently stated in this interview that Governor Tanko Al-Makura emerged as the executive governor of Nasarawa State through the popular will of the people. Isn't it right for him to address the people on these allegations that are turning Nasarawa State into turmoil?
The people of Nasarawa State had a reason. They have spoken. They said if there is anything they want in their life is that they are protecting their voice, they are protecting the man that they have voted to power, and if PDP wants to come to power, they still have the chance of taking power away from Tanko Al-Makura. It's just by the corner. By January, February next year.
Well, you've heard from all sides of the story, and we shall be keeping you abreast with this developing story. Well, we'll be taking a break now, and when we come back, we'll be having our political roundup for the week.
22 airports around the country, an industry that generates billions of naira, connecting millions for business and leisure, will put you through the paces and give you an insider's view on the aviation industry. Watch Aviation This Week, only on Channels Television. Aviation This Week, keeping an eye on the aviation industry.
Ahead of the planned impeachment of Governor Al-Makura of Nasarawa State and the possible takeover by his deputy, Luka Barao, the People's Democratic Party bars Mr. Barao from using his yet-to-be office to seek re-election in the 2015 polls. Former military president Ibrahim Babangida condemns attempts to kill his predecessor, General Muhammadu Buhari. And finally, delegates at the National Conference insist on not signing the dotted lines of the confab document unless they're given copies to read.
And now we'll be going over to our eyewitness reports taken from our most trending pictures from the different social media platforms. After an unceremonious exit as the central bank governor, the ascension of Mohammed Sanusi II as the 14th Emir of Kano was even more controversial, with strong indications of no lost love between the Kano Emirate and the presidency. In a rather amazing twist, the Emir of Kano was seen in a warm greeting with the president at the Aso Villa, dousing speculations of any bad blood between the two. It was gathered that the Emir broke his fast at the Aso Villa. And that's as much as we can take in this edition of Roadmap 2015. You can keep the conversation going by sending your comments on our different social media platforms showing on your screen. Many thanks for being a part of the program. I'm Benga Ashiru, saying join us next week, same time, same station, for another exciting edition of Roadmap 2015. Goodbye.